In one word, my life was selfish. I lived very much for what I wanted and what I felt was right. And I always knew that there was a God, but I didn't particularly care about what he thought. I remember hearing my need for Jesus when I was 4. And it was maybe one of the first memories I've ever had. And it was in an Awana program where I had heard that without Jesus, I was destined for hell. And as a 4-year-old, that had a tremendous impact on my mind. And I remember being very afraid of hell. I was on a swing set just thinking through that. So I shared it with my mom the next day. But she had said that the reason that we would ever follow Jesus is not to prevent hell, but so that we could be with him. And hearing that gospel message, I remember wanting Jesus and praying a prayer. But my life was very self-centered from that stage on until about 18 or 19. When I was 19, I saw the gospel being lived out. When I entered into a youth group and I saw a genuine love for other people that was not conditional on how they were treated or who they were or what their status was. And the difference between them and me was so convicting that I realized that whether I was a believer or not, I wasn't living for Christ. And so then I had really surrendered my self-centeredness at that time, and I gave it all to Jesus. And I remember a big life-transforming time from the next 3 years of my life where Jesus took me from a place of being self-centered to being very selfless. This has been the tangible part of my faith is I genuinely love people. This was a radical transformation in me where I was the most selfish, self-centered, uncaring person in any given room. And now God's love genuinely pours out of me. And it's not because of anything I've done, but because of his presence in me. I ended up at the Cross Church back in 2019. I was in the stage where I was looking for a church and I was thinking about what was next for me and my family. And there was a rumor going around Yakima that something big was happening at the Cross Church. There was a movement of God that people were just abuzz about and talking about. And so I was curious, and I knew some people that had gone to the cross. And so it was a natural step for me. And I remember Father's Day walking in 2019, and it felt like coming home. And it was the first time that I had been at a church in a long time that it felt like I belonged. As I look towards the future of me and the cross, I'm just excited for all of the opportunities that I see here and in the valley. I really believe that there's going to be a movement, a revival, and a reformation of God's people. There will be a swelling of the saints. And I believe that God's put me in a position where I can help lead, disciple, and grow this body. And so when I think about my calling here at the cross, I hope that it's one where God's kingdom is easily seen and equally felt.